Welcome back to Country Backstage. I'm Alan Power. To his fans, when Conway Twitty sings a song, it's pure magic. And we found out that Conway takes those songs he sings very seriously. He was Mr. T before the man with the gold chains and mohawk was a household word. He's Conway Twitty, a man known as country music's #1 soul singer. He tells us just how he got that title.
I've worked at it hard for a long time, and I intend to work at it a whole lot longer and try to get a little bit better at it with every single that I have. I think before you can ever win a country fan's trust, you have to live it and you have to know what you're singing about. And when you do, after years of it sometime, when you reach the point to where you earn the trust of a country music fan, then that fan will stay with you for years and years and years, as long as you stay within certain boundaries. You know, you're dealing with feelings and emotions that are close to a lot of people, and most people, you know, they don't just go and sit down and talk to anybody about what's way down deep inside of them. And a country song is like that. It touches those feelings and emotions, and they don't allow just anybody to touch it. And if they think that you're serious and that you know what you're talking about, then they'll let you deal with it.
And Conway's belief in a country song is reflected in the fact that he's had #1 songs, in fact, more #1 songs than any artist ever. How does he feel about holding such a record?
I never really thought about it until I'd had almost a 10-year stretch of #1 records from 1968, I think it was, through 1977. Just before I hit, about 8 years of #1 records, solid #1 records, I began to think about it. And that's the worst thing you can do, I think. It didn't matter to me one way or the other. The next one is the most important one. You know, the next record is always the most important one. And why I've had that many #1 records is because I know, beyond the shadow of a doubt, it's the song and not the singer. You know, 99% song and 1% singer. And I know it's that song, and that's why I go through 2,000 to 3,000 songs now before I finally record the 10 songs that I record. And that also goes back to what we were talking about earlier, the trust that a country fan puts in you to do just exactly that, to work that hard at it, because it's that important.
In America's prolific music industry, a performer's popularity is measured primarily by top-of-the-charts hits. If you think the #1 record champion is Frank Sinatra, Elvis, the Beatles, you're in for a shock. Kick back with Doug Kaiser.
Every night, I'll stand backstage and the band's out there, and the band hits this big old chord, zoom. I got my microphone back there, and I said, people see us everywhere. People see us everywhere. And the band hits another chord. They think you really care. They think you really care. But myself I can't deceive. But myself I can't deceive. Bow, 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 bow. This is the beginning of It's Only Make-Believe, the song I had in 1958.
And now, one of the best friends that a song ever had. Please make welcome Conway Twitty!
It's Only Make-Believe was his first hit record. That spans 35 years, Conway Twitty has recorded 54 #1 hits. Nobody else is even close. In the late 50s, Twitty got off to a fast start as a rock and roll singer. Except he wasn't always Mr. T. He was Harold Jenkins from Friars Point, Mississippi, until he decided he needed a new name.
I thought I needed to come up with something unique and different. There's a little town right outside of Little Rock called Conway. And then right down, just not far from there in Texas, there's a little town named Twitty. So, you know, Conway, Arkansas, and Twitty, Texas, and that's it, yeah. I've been Conway Twitty longer than I ever was Harold Jenkins.
In 1965, against everybody's advice, Twitty went country.
She tried to hide it by the faded denim clothes she wore. Well, I always loved country music. That was my first love. I just didn't think I was good enough to do it. And I felt like a great country song. It was like a little 3-minute soap opera. And she knew I saw right through her tight jeans.
They're happy country songs, of course, many of them. But country music also deals with the darker side of life, with lost love, divorce, infidelity, alcoholism, failure, and hard luck.
She said, "You've got me figured out, but I'm not what I say. And for a dance, I'll tell you about these tight jeans."
Conway doesn't know how many record albums he's made, more than 100. It is not something he takes lightly.
We'll go through at least 3,000 songs, between 2,500 and 3,000 songs every time we get ready to do an album.
He's written many hits, but he has not recorded one of his own songs since 1977. He has an uncanny knack for picking the right song for himself.
I have known from way back when I first got started in this business that it's 99% song and 1% singer. Hey, Juliana woman, Mississippi man.
Conway teamed up with Loretta Lynn. Together they had a succession of big country music hits.
Love in this Mississippi heart.
So much love in a heart.
We got to wondering what it would be like if this ex-rock singer who wanted to be a country singer and this great country singer got together. Would some magic happen?
Louisiana woman, Mississippi man. We get together how we can. And Mississippi River can't keep us apart.
There's too much love in this Mississippi heart.
So much love in a heart.
Ground zero for Conway these days is Twitty City, Tennessee, a few miles north of Nashville and open to the public. Admission $6.50.
Christmas is for kids.
The annual Twitty City Christmas show always attracts thousands of country music fans. This year, as usual, Conway and his wife Dee occasionally walk the grounds, unannounced, meeting and greeting fans.
Merry Christmas. As I taste your tender kiss, I can tell you've never been this far before.
Conway and Dee Twitty are on the road constantly, going from concert to concert on a customized tour bus.
My name's Carl.
Oh, okay.
This is a man who has spent the last 35 years living out of a suitcase, who doesn't know what a free weekend is. This year alone, he did 140 live concerts.
I don't go hunting or go fishing or I don't do anything like that. My hobby isn't what I do.
At age 57, he has no plans for retirement. He says he's good for maybe another 20 years or so.
You've never been this far before. I think it will last as long as I don't lose it between my ears. All right, you think I'm ready to go out and sing Hello, Darling?
Yeah. Here you go.
Yeah. Hello, darling. Nice to see you.
His teeny bopper fans of 30 years ago are middle-aged housewives today. This gray-haired granddaddy still turns them on when he sings his old hits. Mildly salacious, lustful songs, all of them containing a message for women.
With your hair all up in curlers, I still love to lay you down.
And he's still coming up with new hit songs.
I miss the days when we were crazy in love.
Crazy in Love, his latest, reached number 2 on the charts this month.
They say love, it is a flower. As a singer of songs, you touch people in places that they don't allow just anybody to touch them. It's the heart afraid of breaking. As long as that opportunity is there, there's something really wrong when you don't take full advantage of it. And I made myself a promise, as long as it's out there, I'm going to get it.
In the spring, be